Hello everyone, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to do a real quick demonstration of how to use a shear. Thanks. Here is my shear that I use. This is not a Beverly shear, this is a knockoff brand shear that I use in my shop daily. I bought this shear at Harbor Freight. There's other ones online that you can get if you don't have a Harbor Freight in your area. I'll put a link in the description below for one that's comparable to this one. But I wanted to go real quick on how these shears kind of get set up and are adjusted so this way they can be used and how to actually use one. So the first part of the process is adjusting the shears blades to where they have a nice clean scissoring action in order to cut the work in the material that you're wanting to cut. So as you'll notice on the front of this shear, you have pretty much a nut and kind of like a finger, kind of a holding bit here. What this does is this holds this shear blade into a notch that's back here in the back of this shear. Now I'm not sure if a Beverly shear is set up the same way, but this is the way these cheap ones are set up, so I'm just notating it here. Also, you'll see this other little screw here in the front. This is to adjust how much bite or drag the two shear blades have against one another. So that's something to take and keep in mind. So how much is the right drag? Well, I set up my shears to where they can cut a toilet paper roll or something of the like. We can put it in there and it can shear paper or heavy cardstock. That's all you want it to take and do. This is also a good test if you're buying a used shear to see if the blades are sharp enough. If it won't cut paper, the blades will need to be resharpened in most cases. So that's a little bit about the shear and how to set it up. They're pretty simple. If you need to sharpen the shear blades like I need to do here, there's some notching right here. Somebody got a little carried away, might have been me, shearing something they weren't supposed to. And I'll go over that in a different video of how to clean up that and get the notch out of that blade. I'll do another video on it. Maybe you've got a good shear. A lot of used shears, people get rid of them because the blades get wore out on them, and then they think, well, they're no good anymore. But you can always sharpen these blades. So, moreover, the reason for having this adjustment, because as you sharpen this blade here or remove material from the blades, you have to adjust the shear plate closer so it can still cut paper. So without further ado on that, it's a pretty simple operation, pretty simple tool, pretty simple machine. It's just a leverage mechanism. The handle on this is, I believe, 18-inch long handle that provides the leverage to create the shearing action. And as you can see, it has a geared cross section here that actually makes the lever arm go down. It's not just a pivot point. So without further ado, let's get to actually shearing some metal. Okay, the first step in the shearing process is good layout. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm going to explain that real quick. So, good layout is essentially this. Say you want to take and cut a piece of material and have it be exactly 4 inches after you're done. You don't want to draw a line right on 4 inches. Or, if you do, you can draw a line on 4 inches, but there's a specific way that you have to go to the shear and cut it. So say we need our material at 4 inches. Well, we need to lay out a line, scribe it across, make sure it's square at 4 inches. All well and fine. Couple things that will help you is do not use magic markers unless it's a fine tip. Magic markers will alter that exact line that you're trying to put down by a lot. Try, if possible, to use a scribe of some sort. This isn't always possible, but it's worth trying first before going to a magic marker or a pencil of some sort. So the first part we'll do is we will go ahead and make a tiny little mark here at 4 inches. And then we're going to take our square and get it roughly close and pull across. The more accurate you make this, the better off you're going to be. So now, why is the layout so important? The layout is so important because all shears have a measurable amount of drag through the cut, through the shearing process that you're going to have to clean off. If it's a very high quality shear, it'll be very, very, very minimum, but there will be a slight banking because it is a sheared surface. This is seen prevalent through anything that's called shear stock instead of like hot rolled or cold rolled. Anything that's a shear stock, you'll know what I'm talking about. Even with highly tuned precision machines, anytime that you shear, you get a bit of beveling that is probably not conducive to what you're trying to go for, so it'll have to be sanded off. So you lose a little bit of material. And there again, we're not machines, so it makes it a little more difficult. So keeping that in mind, you always want to take and cut proud of your line. That way you can always remove that shear mark back to your line and stay as accurate as you can. So we'll go over the shear and I'll show you how that looks. Okay, here we are at the shear, guys. As you can see, I'm going to put the line just on the edge of the top shearing die. I'm going to line it up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine a straight line with this shear right here, with the bottom shear. It doesn't really matter what the bottom is cutting. If you keep your line square with your top shearing plane, it'll come out as a square cut. And you just work it a little at a time, and as you can still see my scribed line. That is what you're wanting, to get an exact 4 inches. So you come off to the end and shear it right off. About that simple. So now that should be right at 4 inches. We'll check it, or it'll be close. I can't really show you in the photo here, but there's a little bit of a bevel on the edge that's been shorn. So let me find my scribed line again. Lost it talking to you all. There we go. Okay, so should be right around here. Yep. As you can see, sorry, the number's upside down. It is right at 4 inches. So that's what we were wanting, and that's how you get it. So layout is very important whenever you're using a shear. Those little curves that the shear makes, the cuts that the shear makes, they do matter. So that's something to keep in mind, guys. And without further ado, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. Let me know what you think in the comment section. God bless you all. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you on the next one.